Hey everyone, I'm out here today doing some digging in the woods. It's November 23rd and I have a new machine I'm going to be using today. It's my friend Curt's. He's letting me borrow it if I don't break it, but hopefully I won't break it. Here's the new detector I'm using today. The Garrett ATX all-terrain extreme pulse machine. Now I'll put an adapter on here. It comes with standard black headphones just like the Garrett AT Pro. And I really don't like the standard headphones, so I just hooked me up an adapter, and I'm using my Killer Bees. The cam locks unscrew, and the whole thing folds down and folds up, and you can fit it in a little backpack or tiny pouch, like 2 foot long. And it's a really simple machine to use. Here's the control screen. You got your sensitivity, your discrimination, threshold, iron check. It's a pretty simple, easy to use machine. You got letters in white and letters in red. Now, the red letters are discrimination, non-motion or motion, ground balance, and shift. And if you want to adjust anything in red, you need to click this button here. It turns it red, and then let's say discrimination. So now I'm adjusting my discrimination. I had it on 0. Let's say if we want to adjust sensitivity. You click that button off so it's not red anymore. And now I'm adjusting my sensitivity. I'm using the sensitivity around 9, have discrimination at 0. I'm keeping my threshold right at 9 or 8. It don't matter really. It's really what you can hear in your headphones. You want it so where you can barely hear it. Garrett ATX. I'm going to go ahead and show y'all how to turn the machine on. Now this right here is my adapter. That's not how you're supposed to put it on there. I just rig everything up. I took one of the bolts off and put the clip on there and screwed that back in. But for now it's working pretty good. But to turn the machine on, you take this knob, which you can't get to it now, and you turn it all the way to the right. And then the first thing you need to do is, when you turn it on, you need to hold it up, hold it steady, and push this button right here, which will do a frequency scan. So just push it, and it's going to go through all the scans. This takes 30 seconds. You need to hold the coil steady. You can't be moving it around. And it don't matter where you hold it. You can hold it up in the air or on the ground. But it's going through its scan to find the right frequency. So if you're hunting near a bunch of other pulse machines like Mind Labs and the White's TDIs, you need to do this, and it will help you tune out them machines so you don't hear them. But you also need to do this first. You start up the pulse machine, and after it's done, I'll show you what to do next. Alright, the process is done. You have your frequency scan and found the right frequency. Now what you need to do is you need to ground balance. So to do that, you click the shift button, then you hold the ground balance button, and when you hear it beep, you need to ground balance it. Now you hear it beeping. Now when it gets silent, that means it's ground balance. See how it's ground balanced? Now I just let it sit there for a couple seconds and let go of the button. Now you're all ready to go. You're ready to hunt. It's as simple as that. So anyway, I'm going to get to detecting, and I'll show you if I find anything. Now one thing about pulse machines is that you can't really use them in iron infested areas because they do have some iron discrimination, but if you take it in a really trashy spot where there's nails every 2 inches, it's just going to go so crazy you have to dig all the tones. But they do very well for searching in hot soil for Civil War relics, or even looking for gold nuggets in Australia and deserts and stuff. This thing right here is also great on the beach. So anyway, there's a house site 200 feet over there, and this is about as close as I can get to the house, because if I go any closer, there's just nails everywhere. And now you can tell they're nails. You can push the iron check button, if this thing will focus. Push the iron check button right here, and you can check if they're nails or not, because when you push that button and swing back over the target, if it makes a grunting noise, then you know it's iron. If it don't make a grunt noise, then it's something good. And that's right about 95% of the time. It's normally never wrong. Anyway, let's get to finding some relics. I have my headphone switch flipped up so y'all can hear the detector, but here's an example of an iron signal, and I'll show you. Now the volume on this ATX, you can control it yourself. You just push the shift button right here and turn the volume up or down, whichever way you want it. But alright, check out this signal I got. Alright, so we're going to click the iron check button, which is right here. I don't know if you can see the button. It says iron check. Click that button, hold it, and then go over to target. Hear that grunt? All that grunt, grunt, grunt. That tells me it's iron. So I know not to dig that signal. Now we could dig it anyway and see what it was, but if you're at a spot where you're looking for non-ferrous targets like bullets and buttons and stuff like that, you don't want to dig a nail. But we'll dig it anyway just to show y'all it's iron so I can prove it. What did I tell you? I told you it was going to be iron, most likely a nail or something. That's just a bolt. But that ATX right there, it don't lie to you. Even though it's a pulse machine, it's a great one, that's for sure. Heavy duty too. It's green. I like the green color. It's actually not that heavy. I mean, maybe if you pick it up like this, it's a little heavy, but when you put your arm through the strap, it feels like 2 pounds. Has great iron discrimination too, for a pulse machine anyway. Alright, let's keep digging, and in a minute I'll show y'all how to pinpoint the Alright, I've located a really great signal here. It sounds great, and let me show y'all what it sounds like. Hear that nice, faint, soft tone? So, well, it could be a nail. Let's see. You go to the detector. Really simple to use. You click and hold the iron check button. And hold this button right here. Swing back over the target. Look, I don't hear it. And even if I did hear it, if it made a grunting noise, it would have been iron. Well, it's not making a grunt. Alright, so we already know it's not an iron object, most likely. Now we're going to pinpoint it and see where it's at. So you need to push the pinpoint button and hold it down. And swing over the target from left to right and up and down and pinpoint the exact location. It's right there. Right in the middle there. It's exactly where the target's at. Alright, let's dig the hole and see what it is. You know, it's down about a foot. Piece of iron. Now that does happen with pulse machines. That's one reason why I say you can't use them around house sites. Deep nails over 10 inches, they still show up as good targets. But besides that, if it was a shallow piece of iron a couple inches, I would have been able to know if it was iron or not. But anyway, let's keep digging, see if we can figure out how to use this thing. Pretty simple to use, but one thing I noticed about the ATX is it sure does love 22 bullets. I've dug down 3 inches here, and this is the 5th 22 bullet I've found so far since I've been here in the last 15 minutes. Man, they give great signals. But they're repeatable, and when you use iron check, they don't grunt when you use iron check. So I dug it, and it was 22 bullets. So the machine's working. All right, I just got a really good signal here. Real soft signal showing up as a low high, and I dug down about 3 inches. Well, before I dug the hole, I actually did iron check, and it didn't show up like iron. It showed up just normal. I dug the hole, and if you look down in there, I don't know if you could see that. That right there is a musket ball. Looks like it's been pulled or something too. Almost looks like it. That's awesome. Nice musket ball. I'm back here at my Confederate belt buckle site. Like I said, I've dug here a lot, but I'm just out here in the middle of nowhere, just in the woods, kind of just walking around, and I got that signal. All right. On to the next hole. Maybe we'll find some more good stuff. I have a signal marked here, and this meter here shows you the signal strength. Like if it was at 13, that means it would be really shallow or something very big. And if it was at 1, that means it's really deep or something very small. So check out this signal. Has low signal strength, around 4. It's about as high as it gets. But it's probably something small, only a couple inches deep. Now we're going to go on here and do the iron check and see if it's iron. Nope, I don't hear any grunt. You don't hear anything. That means it's a good object, non-ferrous. Alright, now we're going to pinpoint it, so push and hold this button down. Right there. So I need to dig a hole around that. So alright, let me put this shovel in the ground and see if I can dig this hole. It's out the hole, whatever it is only down about 4 inches. Something small. Yep. Look at that. 22 bullet. Alright. I knew it was either something small or something deep. But there's normally nothing deep around here, this area anyway. So alright. That's awesome. Another 22 bullet. This thing will tear it up on 22 bullets now. It's sensitive. That means that could have been gold. Got a great signal here. Let's do iron check and see if it's iron. Nope. It still beeps, but it's not doing a grunt or anything, so we know it's a good target. Now let's pinpoint it. Hold the pinpoint button down. Right there. Alright, I think it's a bullet, like a modern bullet, not Civil War, but just modern. Because I'm in an area where there's a lot of bullets. Let's see what we got. And I would have probably known if I had my AT Pro in here by the numbers if it was a bullet or not before I dug it, but there it is. Yep. Just a 22 bullet, and you saw how loud that ATX picked it up. I don't know if you could see. Like it's nothing. You just gotta love it when you see this in the dirt clump. Every time you think it's a flat button, but it's always a shotgun shell. Man, that gets me every time when you find them just like that. Could have been something good though. I'm still out here in the woods. It's 4:30 in the afternoon. I'm still digging, so hopefully I'll find some relics soon. Them bushes, that little bush right in front of you there with the red berries, that's the type they plant around old houses. Because back in the day they'd plant them, and there actually is a house site over there. So that's why, but after a while they start growing like crazy, I guess, but they normally don't grow wild. When you see them plants, it means you're near a house site. Here's a better view of the plants I'm talking about, the bushes. These bushes right here, they normally have red berries on them. And when you see these out in the middle of the woods, most times it means there was a house site nearby. Every place I've ever seen these bushes, there was a house site. Check this out. I've never seen a pine tree shaped like that. That's something else. I guess when it was a little fella, somebody put a rock on it and it bent down, and look how it grew. That's something else. Little pine tree, and that right there is 3-foot diameter base of it, so you know that's old. Never seen one that big. Goodness. Takes them 100 years to get that big around here. Hey everyone, I'm back at the truck, done from digging today. Did pretty good. I mean, it was the first real time using the Garrett ATX pulse machine. Seems to be pretty good. I'll show you all my finds. Now, I did a lot of testing. I dug a bunch of iron signals just to make sure they were iron. Most times they were. Like this right here, it showed up as a low high, but when I did the iron check, it grunted. And I dug it and it was a piece of iron anyway, and same thing with most of this. And this nail here, I knew it was going to be iron, but I dug it just to make sure, and it was. So it seems to be that the iron check feature on the ATX works pretty well. Now maybe every now and then you might dig something like this at 15 inches that shows up good, but besides that it does a pretty good job for a pulse machine compared to the Garrett Infinium and stuff I've used before. But here's the finds. Now I've been to this spot probably a couple hundred times, so to find anything is just amazing. But here's what I got. I got a musket ball, some 22 bullets, bunch of 22 bullets. There's the musket ball. This looks like part of a wadded up shotgun shell or something, piece of junk, who knows. And there's my shotgun shells. I only got a couple of them, but they all showed up good. That's pretty much it. I mean, I only stayed out there 4 hours, so mainly experimenting with the machine. Seems to be pretty good though. And the batteries, they go in here. These twist and they pull out, and it takes 4 on this side and 4 on that side, 4 AA batteries. And the arm cuff is completely adjustable. You flip this and it goes up or down, whichever way you want to move it, so you can reach these buttons. You want it so where you can touch these buttons without taking your hand out of that arm cuff right there. And then when you're done using it, you're supposed to unscrew these and fold the shaft in here. It folds in here, it folds in here, and flip this switch and it turns the coil, and then the coil will flip to the side right here, and you could put it in the case that comes with it. I'll do that in a minute. I can't do it on camera, it's too much work, but I'll fold it up for y'all and show y'all how it's really compact. Alright, so all I did was unscrewed the cam lock so they weren't tight anymore, and it just folds on in. Now I have to turn this coil. So what you do is, you see this switch right here has a little lock position on it. You flip it up, and now this coil will turn to your left. Now I can't do it with one hand, but it turns, and then you can flip it on the side. Here's what your folded up ATX should look like every time you're done using it. This will protect the detector, keep it from getting all beat up. Plus you can put it in your backpack or whatever and haul it around when you're traveling. It don't take up much space. Anyway, thanks for watching. Good luck and happy hunting. You'll see more videos of this ATX soon. I just wanted to also mention that the ATX is just like the Garrett Infinium, except it's a lot deeper, and it produces 2 types of tones. A low-high signal, which is a low tone with a high tone echo, and a high-low signal, which is a high tone with a low tone echo. And the high-lows, they are for low conductors such as shotgun shells, pennies, flat buttons, iron. And the low-highs are for high conductors such as big brass belt buckles, silver coins, or big flat pieces of iron sometimes. So I just wanted to add that in. Now if you use the iron check button and swing over them targets, you can most likely determine if they're iron or not most of the time. Not all times. Like I said, deep iron does show up good sometimes, but that's just the reality of detecting. You got to dig the trash to find the treasure.